Boris is standing in the stairwell, watching Vadim's cousin cross the courtyard. The man owns nothing, has built nothing, and has spent 28 years drifting through life with remarkable consistency. Yet he walks across the concrete as if every building in view belongs to him. The Gopnik ladies by the kiosk follow him with their eyes. Not because of anything he has done. They watch him because of the way he carries himself.
Boris cannot explain this. He goes inside and thinks about it over coffee. His older brother finds him at the kitchen table. Boris is hunched over a mug, shoulders folded inward, neck bent forward. From the side, he looks less like a man sitting and more like someone trying to occupy as little space as possible.
Boris, you're sitting like something surrendered. I'm thinking. You're not thinking. You're loading. Let me tell you something. Here's what his brother said. In 2008, two researchers went through photographs from the judo competitions at the Athens Olympics and Paralympics. They compared sighted athletes to blind athletes, some blind from birth who had never once in their lives seen another human being celebrate a win. When the blind athletes won, their arms went up anyway. Boris considered this.
So blind people invented winning?
They didn't invent it. They proved it was already installed.
Body language is not a social skill.
It is a survival system built into the species long before language existed, long before the neighborhood existed, long before Boris existed to slouch through it. In the primitive world, things were simple. If you were weak, the last thing you wanted was to be noticed. Attention meant someone stronger could take what you had or remove you from the equation. So the body solved this the only way it knew how. Compress, shrink, take up minimum space. The brain received the message, we are in danger. If you were strong, you wanted visibility. You expanded, claimed space, held territory. The brain received that message too. We are safe. We have something here. So that's it? Stand up straight and the cavemen leave me alone?
The cavemen are gone, Boris.
The wiring isn't. This mechanism has never been updated. It is still running on the same hardware it was built on. Slump for long enough and the brain makes the adjustments appropriate for a man who slumps. Boris had been slumping for years. The brain had been adjusting accordingly. Nobody had told him these two things were connected. This is also why a person who suddenly receives sustained public attention, a fighter walking into an arena, a performer stepping on stage, often starts carrying themselves differently within minutes. The body responds to the context it finds itself in, and the people watching read the signal before their minds have processed a single conscious fact. The limbic system doesn't check your credentials. It reads your posture. A man with genuinely terrible judgment and correct posture will register as more capable than a man with excellent judgment who stands like he's apologizing for being tall. Boris thought again about Vadim's cousin. 28 years of contributing nothing, and the Gopnik ladies still watched him like the ground owed him an explanation. Studies on competitive athletes show testosterone rises after a win and drops after a loss, not in proportion to how hard you fought, but to how the brain reads the social outcome. This is called the winner effect. And testosterone isn't just a gym number, it governs motivation, the willingness to initiate and to push through discomfort. Low testosterone is the endocrine version of always finding an excellent reason to start tomorrow.
So if I stand up straight, I win the coin flip.
You don't stand up straight to win the coin flip. You stand up straight so the world starts handing you more coin flips to win. There was a famous study claiming that 2 minutes of standing like a superhero directly spikes your testosterone and drops your cortisol. It did not hold up. Bigger studies tried to repeat it and came back empty.
Posture is not a syringe. You don't change your blood chemistry by clenching your fists in a bathroom for 90 seconds. What's real is slower than that, but more useful. How you carry yourself changes how rooms respond to you. Who steps aside? Who interrupts you? Who you find yourself agreeing to things with. Those outcomes are what move the needle. The winner effect doesn't care whether you won a judo final or just won the small unspoken negotiation of a doorway. The body keeps score of all of it and adjusts the chemistry. Spend your day studying the floor and you are accumulating a long string of small losses. The body reads the pattern as a losing season and adjusts testosterone downward to match. Lower testosterone, less motivation, more shrinking. More shrinking, more losses. The loop feeds itself. The inverse feeds itself too. Win the small, unspoken negotiations, the doorway, the eye contact, the corridor, and you accumulate a winning season instead. The body has zones it instinctively protects in a confrontation. Neck, chest, wrists, inner thighs, groin. Covering them is an ancient fear reflex. It fires whether or not there is anything to fear. Open them, chest forward, neck exposed, arms loose, and the signal reverses. This is what Conor McGregor does, walking into a fight. Chest open, neck relaxed, arms hanging, moving at his own pace. Deliberately exposing everything a fighter is trained to guard. Two messages, both wordless. To his own brain, I am doing this and surviving. This is not a threat worth defending against. To the other man, I have nothing to fear from you specifically. Boris had watched the fights 100 times. He had never once wondered why McGregor walked like that instead of just walking.
So I should walk into the courtyard like I'm about to fight someone.
No, you should walk into the courtyard like you already decided you wouldn't need to. Walk with your head slightly back, neck open, chest forward, shoulders rolled back and down, not military, not performed, just where they were built to sit. Eyes at eye level, at the people you pass for one bit longer than feels natural. You will feel embarrassed. This is correct and expected. Hundreds of thousands of years of evolution trained your brain to expect consequences for taking up this much space. In this stairwell, at this hour, in this courtyard, nobody is going to do anything. But your brain hasn't been told that yet. Tell it with your shoulders every day until it believes you. Boris did it! For about 4 days, it felt like an embarrassing bit he was performing for an audience of nobody. Then, it stopped feeling like a bit. Then, it stopped feeling like anything, because it had become the way he moved. 3 weeks later, he is crossing the courtyard, head slightly back, neck open. Vadim's cousin sees him coming from the other side. Through no mechanism he could put into words, no specific thing Boris said, no specific thing Boris did, the cousin steps just slightly to the side. Boris notes this. He adjusts nothing. He keeps walking.